Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, Donald Trump is shutting down parts of government, so to speak. I mean, sort of. He has ordered over the last several days several different departments to not speak publicly, to not post on their website or social media, to not publish any papers, to not communicate with each other. He's ordered the freezing of all foreign monies with the exceptions of a couple of countries. He has ordered the freezing of all grant money, any type of loans, everything. Everything. It's interesting. A lot of people believe that it's happening, and this is in many different departments under his purview, are just being kind of pulled to a halt. Many believe it's because there's a house clearing. You know, he's cleaning house in there in these different departments, and that's very possibly so. It does look like that there's been quite a few people terminated, which is a big difference and improvement over his last time in office. That was probably one of the bigger complaints with many people, including much of his supporters, is that he did not go through and just wipe the slate clean from the beginning. It does at least appear on the surface that that is happening. The border conditions are getting worse, and the whole deporting of illegals, planes being flown, all this kind of stuff is getting bigger and bigger news. I do want to continue to point out, and this isn't because I slant one side or the other. It's just I think we should stick with the facts. And if this is something I was telling my wife yesterday, if we start to see, which it's looking that way, at least in some ways, that the mainstream media is like supporting the Trump narrative, supporting, you know, not trying to undermine him or undercut him, and because that's exactly what happened the last time he was president. If we start to see that more and more where they're not doing that, then to me, that's a big red flag that there is something that's all part of the big game, right? The news media is talking a lot about how Donald Trump is deporting like 1,000 people a day already. And it is just getting started, so hopefully that number will continue to rise. But to put it in perspective, the average daily deportation under the Biden administration was about 1,500, and under Obama was somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000. So he's still got a ways to go to get up to those numbers. But it seems to have caused a stir along the border. There's been gunfights between cartels and Border Patrol agents, and there's been reports that U.S. military flights are being diverted around Mexican airspace because cartels are threatening to shoot down military aircraft. And the Mexican military, at least this is the rumor that's being told, has ordered a division of tanks, battle tanks, to be sent to the U.S. border. Unsure exactly why that's happening. Is it to prevent deportations? Is it to prevent people from crossing into the U.S. border? Is it, you know, to defend Mexico from some type of perceived conflict between the United States and Mexico? I don't know. I don't know, but there is a lot of things heating up on that side. And then also something else, and this has been part of my topic for the last several days. The United States kind of whole market, between the stock market and the cryptocurrencies, basically U.S. markets, have lost about $1 trillion in the last couple of days. That's pretty extensive. I mean, it's not quite to the levels of considering a market crash, but definitely $1 trillion in loss is a big deal. And it's mostly because of one simple company, basically one app that was released by the Chinese called DeepSeek. It is an AI app, much like the OpenAI, the ChatGPT, Grok, or whatever however it's pronounced with Twitter. It's an app that you can get on there and you can ask it things, and it's supposed to give you all these brilliant genius answers. And even tech gurus like Sam Altman has said that it's an impressive piece of software. And it's kind of taken the tech world by storm, because I think everyone thought that the United States was kind of at the top of the game when it comes to artificial intelligence. And then this comes out, and I mean, I'm not an expert in it, and I haven't even messed with it, and I don't plan on it, but they're claiming that it's quite, an advanced piece of artificial intelligence. The point really that I'm bringing this up is not so much that there was $1 trillion loss in the market or whatever, is that just what I've been saying. This is a type of space race, a type of Cold War that we are in right now, and it's on the development of artificial intelligence, because there's no one, it seems, that is trying to hold the reins back and say, well, wait a minute, maybe we should think about things before we go in and develop, higher and higher levels of advanced, artificial intelligence. There was and I don't remember his name. If I should probably look it up so that I can at least tell you. But anyways, there was an interview that I listened to about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago, on Glenn Beck's show. Some of you may remember listening to this. This guy was an artificial intelligence expert. He was working for some of these companies, these big companies like Microsoft and stuff, developing it. And now he's kind of switched sides, and he's speaking out against it. He's talking about how that we're into dangerous waters. And like I said, this was 1.5 years, 2 years ago. AI has developed extensively since then. But he was talking about all the dangers and how advanced it's getting. And it's not just these little chat bots that we're seeing like ChatGPT and this DeepSeek, but the real AI is getting, very developed and very intelligent. Most of these little apps you see, those are basically learning apps. They're collecting data and they're learning it, how to communicate. But the real AI is becoming more and more, I guess you could say, self-aware, and has the abilities to control more and more. And there is no one, he mentioned in this interview, he said there's like no one that's of a loud enough voice speaking out and saying, hey, maybe we should pause. Maybe we shouldn't just run headlong into this. Even Elon Musk has made statements over the last few years of the dangers of AI, but he's not trying to rein it in or to control it. His solution is to insert a computer chip into human brains and connect human brains to the AI so that the human brain can have control over the AI, or at least that is what is told. No one is quite sure yet if that's actually how it would work. The point overall is that this race is developing quite rapidly. And I made a statement a few days ago, and I stand by it even more so now than ever, that this time 4 years from now, let's just say that, let's say, the end of Trump's presidency, I think the scene, I think that America will look drastically different. I'm not saying it's going to look like the Jetsons or something like that. I'm just saying I think things will be dramatically different over the next 4 years. And a lot of it is because of the technology. Donald Trump, like him or hate him, he's brought in some of the leading experts in very advanced technologies and is pushing them pretty serious. And it very much aligns with the World Economic Forum's push for more and more advanced technologies. Their opinion is that most of the problems in the world can be fixed by technology. World hunger, disease, money problems, resources, education, all of these things can be fixed by technology, they say. Really trying to create this utopian future, which may end up utopian or it could be dystopian. But the point is that they believe that technology is the thing. I've spoken in the past about how a lot of these people believe that a new religion is being developed out of it called dataism, the worship of data, that data, the collection of data, the collection of just human intelligence and information and compiling it into a single entity, AI, is becoming a sort of religion. Kind of sounds interesting, doesn't it? Kind of sounds like it could be a new god developing, right? A new beast system or something like that. The point is that this stuff is rapidly developing, and you know, if $1 trillion can be lost in a couple of days because of it, and it's just now really getting started, how much more power, how much more influence will this all have just in the coming years? And I'm not necessarily saying we can do anything about it. I'm not saying whether things are good or bad. I'm just saying that you and I need to have our preparations in order. We need to have our own systems being developed to be an alternative to that. And I know that sounds very business and technological, but basically all that means is the ability to produce your own stuff that you need to keep you alive, and then a community or friends or neighbors or connections where you can barter and trade, basically kind of go back to how things used to be. That's what we're promoting very heavily with the community and the meetings and stuff that we do here locally. That's the point of them. The point of us meeting once a month is to create a place, a kind of a marketplace of ideas, a marketplace of goods and even of services, where people can come together and share and buy and sell and trade and all that kind of stuff outside of the system. We have to start doing that kind of stuff, becoming more self-reliant, because this system that's being developed is headed towards taking over. And when it does, I mean, there's no going back. It's not like a movie. You can't unplug and plug yourself in to this matrix that's being developed. You're just going to have to step outside of it now before it gets going. And I think that's really the best solution that we can hope for, because it is growing faster than I think any of us can even imagine. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.